Okay, who here cares about your users locking the screen lock? Okay, some people. So there's this preference that you can go in here and you can require a password immediately after 5 seconds, yada yada, and so on. And we've seen mentions of various talks. We've seen like Alistair bringing up Stethoscope, and all of these, the tooling from Shopify, I think, had it too. All of the tools for that are security conscious are trying to query this data. So they're trying to query it. There's also a profile. Who here is managing this setting via a profile? Okay. That profile doesn't work. It kind of works. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about that. So let me show you what I mean. So who here knows the preference API really well? You can say, okay, cool. So Greg Nagel has this little utility. I'm trying to dig. Yeah, so there's this script. If you ever are wondering where a preference is set, and like you're not sure, is it set at the user level, at the whatever level? Greg wrote this little utility called Fancy Defaults, and it's like doing defaults read, but it's checking the current host, any host value, the current user, any user, and so on. So for any given preference, this will tell you if it's set at like the by host level or at the library preferences level, and so on. So great utility. Let me show you something. Okay. Fancy defaults pi com.apple ScreenSaver ask for password. So right, that's false. Boolean set in by host. Great. It's not false. It's true. So let's try a profile. ScreenSaver, mobile config. Great. So let's see what this profile is going to do before I install it. It's going to set ask for password to true, ask for password delay to 0. So I have these values. Fantastic. Now let's query using Greg's script, which I promise works for everything else except for this. Set to true, it's managed now. So I would expect that if I went, maybe somebody can take a guess, what's going to happen when I click here for that value, that checkbox? Grayed out? Okay. Require a password in an hour, and I'm going to go to sleep, come back. This is, yeah, so there's no password prompt. The password prompt will happen if I log out and log back in, and then the preferences are going to sync up. But until your users do that, the fact that you pushed out a profile via MDM or Puppet or anything, this value doesn't matter. And the other important thing, ScreenSaver mobile config, if you do not have the ask for password delay key, this profile will never work. Like just the fact that you set it to ask for password true, if you're not setting the delay, even with users logging out, rebooting, it'll never work. I've had a bug report that got closed as a dupe. I know the person who has the other bug report is also on Open Radar. I think it was marked as fixed, but I don't think it's been fixed. I'll double check on that. But I have a blog post about that. So I've been trying to, if you go to blog.clyde.com, you'll find it. And yeah, so I'm detailing like how this is broken. We found out because we sort of have a product that tells users these kind of things, and it's the most requested thing that people want to know about. And it's just Yeah, it's not possible. So be aware of like your tools telling you that you're compliant with stuff that you're not. Yeah, and just preferences in general, they're just a database. Like the actual like application that's trying to read them has to also read them from the same place. So I can write things in preferences and I can read them back and I'll read what I wrote into there, but that's not a guarantee that the system is actually reading from there. So in this particular case, the reason this doesn't work is because Apple has decided to move this into the local keychain. That's also true for the Safari homepage, which has been a bug for, well, it's not a bug, but Apple has decided that you cannot set the homepage via and like read it back. They moved that to the keychain, so that's been around for a few years now. But this is a 10.13 change. So that's kind of my everything that I have. Thank you.